Hello everybody, welcome to theTUBE. We got a lot going on tonight with a very special show, so with no further ado, let's start. And let's start the show with something that will help you move. The meteoric rise of Waze was a huge success story for the Israeli tech scene, and the country is now aiming to repeat that success with another crowdsourced transportation company, this one focused on public transit rather than individual drivers. Yesterday, Moovit announced it has raised $50 million on a successful funding round in which Nokia growth partners, BMW iVentures, and others enthusiastically participated. Like Waze, Moovit relies on its community of commuters to report on the state of a city bus, train, metro, and tram in real time. That's the whole concept. It tracks users on a map as they navigate the transit system and queries them on specific conditions, trying to make, well, public transit, well, a little less awful. This is what Moovit's CEO said yesterday to Channel 2 News here in Israel.
We don't think about where the revenue will come from. Our investors are less concerned about it because the app is valuable to the users themselves. I think that every company that is able to make such big value to its users in the end will find the way to make money. We're definitely not planning any exit. I think that a company that is trying to make an exit is a company that cannot succeed. Our plan is for Moovit to become a big company all over the world that will serve hundreds of millions of people and maybe even more.
The Israeli game industry is small by comparison to others, but it is one that keeps on growing. And to show exactly that, the Israeli organization that promotes this young industry, Game.is, is having its Oscars this Friday. At the ceremony, the best games from Israel will get recognition and will be celebrated. To help them celebrate, Game.is guest of honor is Sami Vanahtalo, one of the co-founders of the very famous Finnish gaming company Remedy, the geniuses behind games such as Max Payne and Alan Wake. To put you in the mood, here's the trailer for Alan Wake.
Surrounding your disappearance are chillingly mirrored by the
Alan Wake? I thought you looked familiar. I'm your biggest fan.
It's the natives, Al. Everybody hates a tourist.
Yeah.
No one made you come here, Barry.
There is a miracle.
I wrote the story.
Dr. Hartman's right. You're crazy.
It's all in your head. You're making this up. Must be tough, knowing that your words will change things.
Who's there? It's coming! Hey! Oh, God! It's right behind us!
Alan?
We are very pleased to have him with us in the studio today to talk about the Finnish industry and what can Israel do, well, to get there. Good evening.
Good evening. Nice to meet you. Be here.
Nice to meet you too. So what made you come to Israel?
I'm a speaker at the Israeli Game Industry Award ceremony tomorrow. So I was very happy to be invited here, and it's my first time in Israel, and it's been a lot of fun to be here so far.
What are you going to speak about?
I'm actually going to talk about the Finnish game industry, a bit about its history and how it got to the current state it is right now. There's a thriving startup culture, and all the older companies are doing extremely well as well, such as especially the mobile side companies like Supercell and Rovio, who have been super successful.
Well, that sounds super interesting. So that's what we want to talk about. So you're very known for your work at Remedy, the company that brought us Max Payne and Alan Wake, two very influential classical games. How did a game company from Finland got to design such huge, expensive games?
Well, we obviously had good support from our American publisher, and then later on for Max Payne we worked with Rockstar Games, who were very well known for the GTA games and other high quality games. And then for the Alan Wake, we of course got a lot of support from the Xbox team and the whole Microsoft Game Studios. So we had a lot of good partners, and we always knew that we couldn't do everything ourselves. So we just got help where we needed, and of course we had a very clear vision on like what kind of games we wanted to do. We always wanted to do cinematic action games with like which would not sound like or even look like that gamey in general, so that they would be more like much closer to TV or movies as an experience. And Remedy is certainly continuing on that same front.
Yeah, because the Hollywood influence is very, very there. The cinematic influence. If you can talk to me a little more about where it came from, the idea to do it, the vision, what the vision is, and is it basically trying to compete a bit with Hollywood itself?
I wouldn't use the word compete. It's more like just trying to supply different forms of entertainment. And of course, a lot of that creative stuff comes from Remedy's creative director Sam Lake, who's been pretty much the sort of heart and soul behind all of the company's games. And it was pretty much a vision from whenever the company was founded in '95, so that we want to do like something different and something big instead of just like let's make a clone of something what already has been done. That of course leads to like fairly long production schedules because you need to iterate on things that you cannot just copy something what somebody else made. But then of course it's also about like finding the vision and trying to crystallize that it really fulfills what the company wants to do.
And do you think that working on AAA games in a country like Finland, does it do something else to the games themselves?
Well, of course, it's a bit it's harder than say working in countries like US and in cities like Seattle, where there's a lot of talented people who've done that a lot. So we've pretty much had to invent a lot of things from ourselves. But then again, game companies in general are very helpful. So they're you can always just ask other people how they did this and that. And it has challenges, but they are doing AAA games also in Sweden and in Denmark. So it's not really that different. It's just that some things are harder. Like say, for example, you need to for all voice actor castings and all that. You need to either travel abroad or same thing with motion capture and so forth. So you need to rely on, in this case, on some things on external partners who are further away than what they are for some of your for some other game companies.
You know, Finland is also famous for, Angry Birds. What do you personally think about casual gaming? Are they hurting big games?
No, absolutely. It's casual gaming has brought probably hundreds of millions of more game players. It's traditionally games were more like this thing what geeky boys do in their bedrooms kind of thing. But now it's casual games has brought a lot more women and girls also into the gaming and a completely new area, so the casual games and what we would call AAA core games can coexist great. They even sort of I think they even support each other, so that people who get hooked on casual games can start trying out more sort of serious games, whether they are strategy games or something like that. So it actually drives more people to play games, which I think is great.
And what would be your best advice for the Israeli gaming industry?
Keep trying.
Keep trying.
Yeah, no, it's. I think you're definitely on the right track. And as I said, I'll be going through this a bit more on the presentation tomorrow at the award show. But success doesn't just come overnight. I mean, most of the successful Finnish companies have been the individuals there have been working on games for up to 20 years, most over 10 years. So it's just you just need to ship titles, get to know how you work with these people, and it just takes time. You just need to learn it. It's a very lucky strike if your company's first game ever becomes successful, and a lot of companies have been just been hard at work.
You know, here at the show we talk a lot about the Oculus Rift, virtual reality, the future of gaming. Does it excite you as a game artist?
Oh, absolutely. It's there's a saying that the only thing sure in games is that within 5 years everything will change. So maybe the Oculus or some other VR system is going to be the one. And what I've played around with them, they are certainly very, very impressive pieces of technology. And there's super smart people all over the world working on things like Oculus.
But do you think it's going to change significantly the gaming experience, the world of gaming?
At least it changes the experience. Will it sort of change the whole industry? That's to be seen. But the thing is, I think the gaming industry is just sort of it keeps on expanding. There's going to be new areas. If somebody had told you 10 years ago that most of the profits and revenue are going to be made on Apple devices, it's that would have been unheard of. But there's just going to be more opportunities to create content for players. And what I've tried the VR stuff, it's certainly very impressive. And it is a completely different experience, which means you need to design the games differently for VR experiences. Just like you need to design games different from tablets than what you would do for consoles.
Of course. Well, sounds super interesting. Thank you very much for coming and spending some time with us. We well appreciate it. And enjoy the convention.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on. If you love to surf on Facebook while at work and you feel, well, bad about it, don't. Facebook wants to change exactly that with their new product, Facebook at Work. The product would allow businesses to create their own self-contained social network among their employees. Users can access these networks through Facebook's site and via new Android and iOS apps. The platform is meant to mimic Facebook's familiar appearance and behavior, newsfeed, profiles, and, you know, the whole shebang. Facebook believes it could effectively replace email within the company. Facebook is still testing at Work, so you won't be able to download it right away. We'll keep you updated. We are hearing a lot about augmented reality and we hear a lot about virtual reality, but do we need to choose one on the other? Sulon Technologies believe we don't. They made a headset that combines VR and augmented reality, creating an interesting new experience. According to the company, the Cortex is neither augmented or virtual reality, instead coining the term augmented virtual reality. Using the ball of sensors on the back of the headset, the Cortex can map the room you're standing in, including walls and furniture, and incorporate them into the virtual world you're currently exploring. It sounds wacky, it looks even wackier. We want to try it, so here is the wacky ad.
Your destiny is not bound to the fate of this world. The promise of a new horizon cannot be denied. Fear and frustration will hold you back from evolving.
Did that last thing creep you out? Well, wait till you see what we have for you now. A US company called Robot Base has unveiled a new and possibly revolutionary new personal robot that is completely autonomous and equipped with artificial intelligence to help you stay organized and aid you with your daily life. The personal robot has the intelligence to help its owner as well, a PA, security guard, photographer, storyteller, and more. It even has an animated face. They've launched a new Kickstarter campaign, so you can buy one in advance right now. Get ready to be freaked out.
Meet the world's first artificial intelligence personal robot. She's your welcome friend at any hour.
Good morning, Thomas. Time to get up.
Good morning.
It seems like you had a good night's sleep. 8 full hours and a good resting heart rate.
Thank you.
Your meeting with Jane is at 9:30. I put the coffee on.
She can interface with household devices. And she's also a personal stylist.
What do you think?
Why don't you try the blue tie with it?
Good idea.
She's your world-class office assistant, using artificial intelligence algorithms to analyze data quickly and efficiently.
We plan to run a marketing campaign on the Upper East Side of New York. What do you think about that neighborhood?
This neighborhood has a very promising outlook for this campaign, with 25,000 housing units. Also, 82...
Yeah, okay. It's really hard to get into the Toronto Jewish Film Festival. So Ron Jeremy, legendary actor and movie superstar, decided to get serious and to ask the managers of the festival to reconsider.
My name is Ron Jeremy, actor, producer, and star of over 2,000 films. As a cinephile, I know what makes great film. When several of my submissions were rejected by the Toronto Jewish Film Festival, questions arose. Were you not aware of the accolades bestowed upon me as a director? That I have worked with Hollywood's elite. And of course, that I'm Jewish. I hope you'll reconsider. Do the right thing.
Funny, that made me laugh. Okay, that's it. This show is over. Log on to our best of edition throughout the weekend. Rest, it's the weekend. We'll be back with a brand new show on Monday. And always remember, books don't change people. Paragraphs do, sometimes even sentences.